I think one of the worst things about the outcome of the 2024 election is that all of the bad behavior that Donald Trump was engaged in, all of the terrible, terrible things that resides in the MAGA movement, it is somehow being validated because Donald Trump was reelected to the president of the United States. The American people didn't seemingly care enough to make sure that he didn't take office again. And Donald Trump is really wielding this to his advantage. He's kind of wielding this as a shield of sorts. He's saying, well, the American people elected me again, so I can pretty much do whatever the hell I want. And it's really starting to shine through in a bunch of different ways. Donald Trump is acting more fascistic than ever before because he somehow believes that he has this mandate from the American people and that all of the bad things that he did in the past, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump has been validated in his thinking. He is a bad faith actor who abused our justice system, who abused the United States, but he got reelected to president. And so all of those court cases had to get wound down. He had that favorable judge in Florida that threw cases out. And Donald Trump didn't deny that he did all this. When it comes to the January 6th insurrection, he took that all the way up to the Supreme Court and said, hey, I need immunity to cover my ass for these bad deeds. This is terrible for the country because it also gives some sort of permission structure to the MAGA movement that, well, it doesn't really matter anymore. As long as I'm on Donald Trump's side, I can get let off the hook. Just listen to how Donald Trump is talking about how he shouldn't have to be involved with the courts. He should be able to overturn whatever Biden did with the stroke of a pen.
Ruined. They were spending everything they had, money. We were helping them out. We had to. It's more than anybody in the world. And we're going to have more of it, too. But they took away 625 million acres of offshore drilling. Nobody else does that. And they think they have it, but we'll put it back. I'm going to put it back on day one. I'm going to have it revoked on day one. We'll go immediately if we need to. I don't think we should have to go to the courts, but if we do have to go to the courts, you know, they try to be sneaky. They go in and they sign. Remember, this is a man that said he wants the transition to be smooth. Well, you don't do the kind of things. You don't have a judge working real hard to try and embarrass you. Because I did nothing wrong. By the way, I did nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. If I did something wrong, I wouldn't be standing here right now because I've won all these cases. Nobody's ever won so many cases as I have against the Justice Department. I mean, Jack Smith had cases all over the place. People were being subpoenaed, lives were being ruined. They were spending everything they had, money. We were helping them out. We had to.
So do you see what he's doing there? He's lying to the American people, first off. He didn't win all of these different cases. Most of these cases had to get wound down because he got reelected as president. And because he made the right appointment in the Florida courts, he had a favorable judge toss out one of the other cases. He didn't win anything. He did not win all of these cases against the Justice Department. And if the courts are going to try to stand in his way when it comes to overturning whatever Biden did or repealing whatever Biden did, well, then he shouldn't have to put up with any of that. He should be able to do it just the way he wants to do it. Legal challenges be damned. He goes on to say that because he won this election, well, that just proves that I did nothing wrong.
I defeated deranged Jack Smith. He's a deranged individual. I guess he's on his way back to The Hague. And we won those cases. Those were the biggest ones. And the press made such a big deal out of them, but we did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong on anything. And the people saw that. You know, when they vote when a Republican, it's not easy for a Republican. When the Republican wins the popular vote by millions and wins all 7 of the swing states, people said, well, he could win 4. We won all 7, and we won them by a lot. That tells you we won. That tells, and they've been watching this injustice. I call it the Injustice Department. What they've done is so bad. The whole world has watched that.
I'm pretty sure the whole world is laughing at the United States of America right now because we couldn't get our shit together in time to hold an insurrectionist and a traitor to this country accountable before he was able to get reelected. This is a huge indictment on our justice system. I don't know if Merrick Garland was dragging his feet or what, but it is absolutely insane that Donald Trump was even allowed to run again for president. Because people like Mitch McConnell and other Republicans in the Senate said, oh, well, we can't impeach him because he's not in office anymore. They just drew up excuses on a whim. They didn't hold him accountable in the House and the Senate, and then our Justice Department failed to act in time to make sure Donald Trump couldn't get away with trying to overthrow our government. He literally tried to steal a free and fair election, and now he is going to be the next president of the United States. That is insane. So the whole world is not watching saying, oh, what an injustice it is, what they've done to you, Donnie. No, they are laughing at the United States because we are supposed to be this beacon of democracy, the shining light on the hill. And we let our country's bad faith actor get reelected. He's just more emboldened, more authoritarian now than ever. Listen to how he's just not even hiding it anymore. He says, well, do you think that Zuckerberg is responding to the threats that you made against him? This is absolutely unacceptable stuff.
I'm not allowed to say that. Say it?
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats that you have made to him in the past? With
Probably. Yeah, probably.
The last time you were here.
He's not even hiding it. Yeah, I threatened Meta. I threatened Mark Zuckerberg. And now he is bending the knee and doing what I ask. He is not even hiding it anymore. This should be disqualifying. It is not appropriate for the President of the United States to be making threats against public companies because they are somehow offended by a fact check or something. It's delusional. And shame on Mark Zuckerberg for bending the knee and getting rid of fact-checking and going to this community note system, all to appease Donald Trump. These people are traitors to this country. And then they hide behind free speech, free expression to mask their downright traitorous behavior. He then goes on to talk about pardoning those who were even violent on January 6th. Because, of course, if you are in Trump's corner, you can do whatever the hell you want. And that is exactly the message that is being sent to the rest of the MAGA movement. This is dangerous, dangerous stuff.
More than 140 police officers were injured by rioters on January 6th. Will you pardon anyone who attacked a police officer?
Well, you know, the only one that was killed was a beautiful young lady named Ashli Babbitt. She was killed, and there was actually somebody else that was killed, also a MAGA person, but people don't give it 100% credibility. I'm going to find out about it, and we're going to find out. But Ashli Babbitt was killed. She was shot. Should have never been shot. She was shot for no reason whatsoever. In fact, they say that she was trying to hold back the crowd, and the crowd was made up of a lot of different people, so we'll see. But
So 9 people died because of the events on January 6th. 5 police officers died in connection with what happened on January 6th. After Donald Trump riled up a mob of his supporters to storm the Capitol to try to stop the certification of a free and fair election. because Donald Trump is a petulant child, and when he lost to Joe Biden, he just couldn't stand it. And so he was willing to do whatever necessary to try to hold on to power. And now he is going to be the next president of the United States. And only Ashli Babbitt matters because she was standing up for the MAGA movement. She was standing up for Donald Trump. So, of course, she is the only one that matters when it comes to deaths surrounding January 6th. But let's not forget what exactly Ashli Babbitt was doing when she got shot. Behind these doors here that you see on the screen are congresspeople. After they stormed the Capitol, they were on the hunt for people like Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi. And when they got to the House chambers, they tried to break the doors down. And that is what we are going to see here. And about a second and a half later, Ashli Babbitt tried to crawl through the window that this mob of people had just broken out, and she was shot. And people in the MAGA movement say that she was just a peaceful protester. She got shot for no reason. This was not a justified shooting. Absolute bullshit. That mob of people, Ashli Babbitt included, had no right to be there that day. They had no right to break down the doors and the windows to enter the Capitol, and they certainly had no right to go after congresspeople that were just behind these doors. But because Donald Trump has won the 2024 election, and because he surprised everybody by actually winning the popular vote by a very slim margin as well, many people in the MAGA movement are brushing all this aside. Or, worse, they're kind of validated in their thinking. They're kind of given this permission to do whatever they want to do as long as it is in service to the MAGA movement and Donald Trump. I believe this is the worst thing to come out of the 2024 election. These people are more emboldened now than ever, Donald Trump included. I think we are going to see a spike in violence. We've already seen people strangling reporters saying that this is Trump's America now. And I think events like that are only going to increase because it sends the wrong message to the American people when we put somebody like Donald Trump back in office. Somebody who has been found liable of sexual abuse. Somebody who falsified business documents in connection with his 2016 campaign, who was also convicted of 34 felonies in that case. It sends the wrong message when we send Donald Trump to the White House after he led an insurrection against the United States of America and literally tried to steal an election because he lost. It sends the wrong message to the American people that we sent Donald Trump back to the White House after he called Brad Raffensperger and tried to get him to find 11,780 votes. It sends the wrong message because Donald Trump stole classified documents, and then when the National Archives came to get them back, he refused and started playing games and obstructed justice, trying to hide these documents from the FBI. So, this is bad news. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I think this is, like I said, the worst thing to come out of the 2024 election. Yes, Donald Trump is an authoritarian wannabe. Yes, he has fascistic tendencies. And now he is using this win to justify all of those fascistic behaviors, all those authoritarian impulses. And I don't know what we do to come back from something like this, but we have to figure out something. Because when we have a huge contingent of this country that is so willing to go enact violence for dear leader, that makes it dangerous for the rest of us. So I will leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of this video, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. If you want to see how Donald Trump and the MAGA movement is rewriting history as it pertains to January 6th, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.